Ladies and gentlemen, there is a silent battle we all fight every day. It's not always visible, but it is real. It's a battle that starts in the mind. We are surrounded by forces, fear, doubt, ignorance, that seek to pull us down and limit our potential. But the good news is, you do not have to fight these forces empty-handed. You don't need to go into this battle unarmed, because you have a weapon at your disposal that is more powerful than any adversary you may face. That weapon is knowledge. When you open a book, when you dive into the wisdom contained in its pages, you are arming yourself with the tools to conquer. You are reading to kill the demons of fear, insecurity, and doubt that lurk within and around you. The mind is the battlefield, and it is here that the victory is won. The truth is, we cannot fight against forces that seek to hold us back with the same mindset that created the problem in the first place. If you want to change your life, if you want to change the world, you must first change your thinking. And that change happens when you read. Knowledge is not just information. It is transformation. What you read shapes who you become. It is not enough to simply wish for success or pray for freedom. To unlock your potential, you must arm yourself with wisdom. The right knowledge can illuminate the darkest corners of your life, transforming confusion into clarity, fear into courage, and limitation into boundless opportunity. But you must be disciplined. The demons of your life, whether they are negative thoughts, circumstances, or limitations, can only hold you hostage if you allow them to. But the moment you decide to engage your mind with wisdom, you are fighting back. You are becoming the master of your thoughts, your decisions, and ultimately, your life. And as you read, remember, it's not just about absorbing information. It's about action. Knowledge without application is like a sword without a blade. The real power comes when you take what you've read, internalize it, and use it to defeat the fears and limitations standing in your way. Today, I challenge you. Read to this kill the demons that have held you back. Read to kill the doubts that tell you you're not enough. Read to kill the fears that tell you it's too late. Read to kill the thoughts that say you can't. As you read, you are not only transforming yourself, you are creating a legacy. The knowledge you gain today will empower not only you, but also those who come after you. Your growth will inspire others to grow. Your courage will spark the courage of others. And together, we will rise above. So let's read with purpose. Let's read with power. Let's read to this, kill the demons of our past. Knowledge is more than just information or facts. It is a tool that can shape the very fabric of your reality. In a world filled with noise and distraction, knowledge offers clarity. It provides the insight needed to navigate the complexities of life. It is the foundation upon which we build understanding, the catalyst for personal growth, and the key to unlocking potential that may have remained dormant without it. To understand the true power of knowledge, we must recognize that it is not just a passive asset. It is an active force capable of transforming us and the world around us. When you acquire knowledge, You don't just fill your mind with data. You equip yourself with the power to see beyond the surface. It empowers you to discern truth from falsehood, to make informed decisions, and to take actions that align with your deepest values and desires. Knowledge provides the lens through which you perceive opportunities that others may overlook. It helps you recognize paths to success where others see only barriers. It helps you recognize paths to success where others see only barriers. In this sense, knowledge does not merely inform, it enlightens. The more you know, the more you realize that the world is not just a series of random events, it is interconnected. Everything has a purpose, and every moment holds the potential to teach us something new. With knowledge, you are not merely reacting to life's challenges, you are actively engaging with them. You begin to understand patterns, to predict outcomes, and to act with intention and precision. This kind of insight is what separates those who are passive spectators of their lives from those who are active creators of their destinies. In times of struggle and adversity, it is knowledge that provides the light when everything else seems dark. When faced with challenges, it is often our limited understanding or lack of perspective that causes fear and hesitation. But knowledge, true, deep, and well-rounded knowledge gives us confidence in the face of uncertainty. It reveals possibilities where others see only dead ends. It helps us navigate the storms of life with wisdom and resilience, knowing that we are not powerless in our circumstances, but have the ability to shape them through informed action. Oh dear. Knowledge is not just about what we learn for ourselves. It is about the legacy we create by sharing it with others. When you pass on what you know, you don't just multiply your own wisdom. You multiply the potential of everyone around you. Knowledge is one of the few resources that grows when shared. By educating others, you contribute to the growth of a community, a society, and ultimately the world. The true power of knowledge lies not only in its ability to elevate individuals, but also in its capacity to uplift entire generations. This is why knowledge should never be underestimated. It is the most effective weapon we have against ignorance, fear, and limitations. It is the key to dismantling the obstacles that seek to hold us back. And it is the driving force behind every innovation, every breakthrough, and every achievement that has ever changed the world. By embracing knowledge, we embrace the opportunity to shape not just our own lives, but the future of humanity itself. Through knowledge, we have the power to not only overcome our demons, but to transform the very world in which we live. The mind is not just a passive receiver of thoughts and experiences. It is an active battlefield where every idea, belief, and emotion fights for control over your actions, your perspective, and your destiny. This battle is often invisible to the naked eye, yet it is the most important struggle you will ever face. The challenges we face in life, from our internal fears to the external obstacles we encounter, begin in the mind. If we lose the battle within, we lose the battle without. Every thought we think, every belief we hold shapes our reality. The mind, powerful and dynamic, constantly churns through thoughts, emotions, and memories. In this ceaseless flow, there is a battle between what is true and what is false, what is constructive and what is destructive, what is empowering and what is limiting. The battlefield is where self-doubt and confidence, fear and courage, insecurity and self-worth all contend for dominance. Our greatest enemies are often not the external forces we face, but the internal demons, the negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, and unspoken fears that take root in our minds. These are the forces that whisper you can't when the world is telling you you can. They fill your mind with doubt, telling you that you are not enough, that success is out of your reach, that failure is inevitable. These thoughts can cripple you if you let them, chaining you to a life of mediocrity and fear. But the mind is also a place of immense power and potential. Within the mind lies the capacity for greatness, creativity, and extraordinary resilience. The mind is where dreams are born and where they are either nurtured into reality or abandoned before they even have a chance to take flight. When we train our minds, when we engage in the battle for mental discipline, we unlock the door to infinite possibilities. The same mind that can be a source of fear and limitation can, when properly harnessed, be the source of courage, vision, and victory. The battlefield of the mind requires strategy and awareness. Just as soldiers do not enter a fight unprepared, we cannot afford to approach life's challenges without mental preparation. The mind must be disciplined, trained, and equipped with the right tools. Just as a warrior sharpens their sword, we must sharpen our thoughts and beliefs. It's not enough to simply react to the negative thoughts and doubts that arise. We must take an active role in challenging them. This requires us to become vigilant, to observe the patterns of thought that arise and to question their validity. It demands that we recognize when our thoughts are being influenced by fear, negativity, or past experiences, and consciously replace them with empowering beliefs. It requires intentional thinking, choosing thoughts that align with our vision, with who we want to become, and with the life we want to live. This kind of mental discipline is not a one-time act, but a continuous practice. It is a daily commitment to winning the battle for our minds. In this battle, knowledge is our armor. Knowledge allows us to recognize lies for what they are and to replace them with truths that empower us. When we know who we are, when we understand our worth, when we understand the power of our thoughts, we gain control over the battlefield. We can choose to focus on possibilities instead of problems, on solutions instead of obstacles, on hope instead of despair. The more we fill our minds with positive, empowering knowledge, the stronger we become in the face of adversity. The mind is where the seeds of greatness are sown, but it is also where the seeds of destruction can grow if left unchecked. It is up to us to guard our minds, to choose what we feed them, and to actively engage in the mental battle that will determine the course of our lives. The mind is the ultimate weapon in the battle of life. It can be the source of our greatest triumphs or our deepest failures, depending on how we choose to wield it. When you learn to control your mind, when you take command of your thoughts and beliefs, you are no longer a victim of circumstances. You become the master of your destiny, able to shape your reality and overcome any challenge that stands before you. The mind is indeed a battlefield, but it is also a place of profound potential. And when you win the battle within, you unlock the power to transform not just your life, but the world around you. Inside each one of us lies a power that is often hidden, waiting to be discovered, nurtured, and unleashed. It is not a power that comes from external sources, but a power that resides deep within, dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. This hidden power is not about physical strength or external resources. It is the inner strength of the mind, the spirit, and the will. Faith. It is the untapped potential that we often fail to recognize or fully realize, either because we are distracted by the noise of life or because we doubt our own capabilities. But when we unlock this power, we step into a new realm of possibility where nothing is impossible and every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth. But in order to unlocking this hidden power lies in self-awareness. Often we are so focused on external achievements, the goals we wish to reach, and the world around us that we fail to recognize the vast resources within. We have the power to shape our thoughts, control our emotions, and make decisions that align with our purpose. But in order to tap into that power, we must first recognize that it exists within us. This recognition is the first step in awakening the dormant potential we all carry. Once we acknowledge the presence of this power, the next step is to nurture it. Just as a seed requires soil, water, and sunlight to grow, our inner power needs the right environment to flourish. The thoughts we feed our minds, the actions we take, and the beliefs we hold are all part of this nurturing process. Positive, empowering thoughts strengthen this power, while negative or self-limiting beliefs stifle it. Our actions are a direct reflection of the inner power we believe we possess. When we align our behavior with our true potential, we begin to see the results of that power manifest in our lives. Unlocking hidden power requires us to break free from the limitations we place on ourselves. Often, the biggest barrier to unleashing our potential is the belief that we are not capable, that our circumstances define us, or that we are not deserving of success and happiness. These beliefs act as chains that bind us, keeping us from stepping into the fullness of who we are meant to be. But the truth is, you are not defined by your past, your current situation, or the opinions of others. You are defined by the choices you make, the way you think, and the actions you take. To unlock your hidden power, you must take the bold step of letting go of limiting beliefs and embracing the truth of your own potential. This often requires us to step out of our comfort zones, to take risks, and to face the fear that comes with change and growth. It requires a willingness to trust in our abilities even when the path is unclear or the outcome uncertain. It requires faith in ourselves and the courage to pursue our purpose no matter how daunting the journey may seem. As we unlock our inner power, we also begin to understand that this power is not just for our own benefit, but for the greater good. The hidden power within us is meant to be shared. When we tap into our full potential, we inspire others to do the same. The power we unlock allows us to impact the world around us, whether through acts of kindness, through leadership, or through the work we do. It is a ripple effect, one that spreads outward as we embody our true potential. This is why unlocking hidden power is not just an individual pursuit, it is a collective one. As we grow and evolve, so do those around us. As we awaken to the power within, we create an environment where others are encouraged to awaken to their own. In this way, the hidden power we possess does not only serve our personal ambitions, but it contributes to a larger movement of empowerment, one that transforms communities, organizations, and even societies. Unlocking this hidden power is a lifelong journey, one that requires constant growth, learning, and self-reflection. The moment we stop striving to become the best version of ourselves, we begin to lose touch with the power that lies within. But as we continue to learn, to grow, and to evolve, we unlock deeper levels of potential. This is not a destination. It is a continuous process of discovery and transformation. And with each step, we become more of who we were always meant to be. To unlock your hidden power is to understand that you have within you everything you need to succeed, to overcome obstacles, and to fulfill your purpose. It is a recognition that you are capable of far more than you realize and that your potential is limitless. The power is already within you. All you need to do is tap into it, nurture it, and let it guide you to the extraordinary life that awaits you. Life in all its complexities is not a smooth, uninterrupted journey. It is a battleground where every step forward is met with resistance, where every victory is hard won, and where each challenge tests the strength of our will, our mindset, and our character. But this battle is not against external enemies alone. It is a fight within, a contest between who we are today and who we have the potential to become. Follow me. The battles we face in life, whether they are personal, professional, or spiritual, are not meant to break us, but to shape us, to refine us into stronger, wiser versions of ourselves. And while the struggle may seem overwhelming at times, it is in this very struggle that our true power is forged. We often think of life's battles as conflicts with the outside world, overcoming financial difficulties, facing health crises, battling societal expectations, or dealing with the trials of relationships. These are real battles indeed. But before we can address the external challenges, we must first confront the internal battles that shape how we respond to the world around us. The most significant struggle in life is the one that takes place within our minds. The battle between fear and courage, between doubt and confidence, between the desire to stay comfortable and the courage to move forward despite uncertainty. The truth is, the real battle is not about defeating others. It's about defeating the limitations we place on ourselves. Every limiting belief we hold, every fear we face, every doubt that creeps into our mind is a force that seeks to hold us back from realizing our potential. The battle is not against the world, but against the mental chains we allow to keep us bound. And these mental chains are not physical, they are beliefs, fears, insecurities, and past experiences that have been ingrained in our minds. They are the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are capable of. These stories can either empower us or imprison us. These stories can either empower us or imprison us. The battle of life is about deciding who you will be in the face of adversity. It is about choosing to rise when you feel like falling, about holding on to hope when everything seems lost. It is about showing up every day, even when the world tells you to stay down, even when the circumstances are stacked against you. The strength to continue the fight, even when the odds seem insurmountable, is what ultimately defines the course of your life. But it is not just about fighting. It is about strategy, about understanding that every battle in life has a lesson to offer. We are not meant to merely survive the battles of life. We are meant to learn and grow from them. Each battle teaches us something new about ourselves, about the world, and about how we navigate through the complexities of existence. When we approach life's challenges with the right mindset, With an attitude of growth and resilience, we see them not as obstacles, but as opportunities for development. They are stepping stones that push us closer to the person we are meant to become. One of the greatest strategies in life's battle is perseverance, the ability to keep moving forward, even when you face setbacks or when the road is long and filled with uncertainty, is what separates those who live in fear and those who live in victory. Life does not always unfold in the way we expect. And there will be moments when you feel as though you're fighting an uphill battle. But those are the moments when your resilience is being built. It is in those moments of struggle that you discover how strong you truly are. Another key element in the battle of life is purpose. When you know why you're fighting, the battle becomes much more meaningful. Purpose gives you direction, focus, and strength. It helps you to endure, to rise above, and to keep going when everything else tells you to quit. Purpose is the compass that guides you through the chaos, the anchor that keeps you steady when the storm is raging. Without purpose, life's battles can feel meaningless. But when you understand your purpose, every challenge becomes a part of your journey, a step toward the fulfillment of your greater calling. The battle life is not one that can be won alone. It requires a community, support, and the guidance of others who have walked a similar path. It is important to recognize that we do not have to fight every battle by ourselves. There is strength in unity, in collaboration, and in shared wisdom. Surrounding yourself with people who encourage you, challenge you, and hold you accountable is crucial in the fight. There are times when we will need someone to lift us up, to remind us of our strength, and to help us see the light when it feels as though we are surrounded by darkness. At its core, the battle of life is a journey of self-discovery, a constant evolution of who we are and who we are becoming. It is a process of shedding the old versions of ourselves, the fears, the doubts, and the limitations, and embracing the strength, the courage, and the power that we have within us. The battles we face in life are not meant to break us, but to transform us into the people we are destined to be. And while the battle may be long and challenging, it is in these very struggles that we find the strength to rise higher, to push further, and to ultimately triumph over whatever obstacles lie in our way. It's when you embrace the battle, when you step into life's challenges with courage and a sense of purpose, you realize that the battle itself is not the enemy. The real enemy is allowing fear, doubt, and limitations to define your journey. The battle of life is about taking control of your destiny, about learning to rise, to fight, and to grow stronger with every step. And to grow stronger with every step. And in the end, it is not the battles that will define you. It is the strength you discover within yourself to overcome them that will. Transformation begins in the mind. It is a process that starts with the information we take in, the ideas we expose ourselves to, and the knowledge we choose to absorb. Our minds are constantly processing the world around us, and the information we consume plays a critical role in shaping the person we become. Information is not just data. It is the raw material that feeds the soul, fuels ambition, and guides decisions. Footnote: for the transformation that occurs when we begin to consciously choose the information we engage with is nothing short of powerful. As we elevate the quality of the information we feed our minds, we elevate the quality of our lives. When we immerse ourselves in positive, empowering, and insightful information, we begin to see the world in a new life. We shift from a mindset that is limited by the experiences of the past or the constraints of our current situation to one that is expansive, open to possibilities, and full of potential. This shift in perspective is the beginning of transformation. The information we consume can either reinforce our current reality or it can challenge us to step beyond it. It is the catalyst that sparks new ideas, shifts beliefs, and awakens the latent abilities within us. Knowledge becomes a tool for change, a tool that empowers us to break free from old patterns, overcome obstacles, and rise to new heights. As we absorb new information, our brains rewire themselves. Learning is not just about understanding facts or acquiring skills. It is about creating new neural connections that allow us to think differently, act more effectively, and adapt to new circumstances. Information has the power to reprogram our subconscious minds, replacing outdated beliefs with new, empowering ones. See, this is why personal development, continuous learning, and the constant intake of new, life-enhancing knowledge are essential for anyone seeking transformation. The more we engage with high-quality information, the more our minds expand. And with this expansion comes new possibilities, new opportunities, and a new version of ourselves. Transformation through information is not just about learning new concepts. It is about applying them. Information becomes transformative when we take what we have learned and put it into practice. Knowledge without action is like a seed that is never planted. It has the potential to grow into something great, but if left untouched, it remains dormant. The true power of information is unlocked when we act on it, when we allow it to influence our decisions, our behaviors, and our actions. This is where the true transformation occurs, when the information we absorb begins to manifest intangible change in our lives. We are constantly surrounded by information, but not all of it has the power to transform us. The key lies in the quality of the information we choose to focus on. In a world that is often filled with noise, distractions, and negative influences, it is important to be intentional about what we expose ourselves to. We must curate the information we take in with purpose, ensuring that it aligns with our goals, our values, and the vision we have for our lives. This means being mindful of the books we read, the media we consume, the people we interact with, and the thoughts we entertain. When we consciously choose information that uplifts, inspires, and challenges us to grow, we create the environment for lasting transformation. Transformation through information also means learning from those who have gone before us. Wisdom is passed down through generations, and by seeking out the knowledge and experiences of others, we can shorten the path to success and avoid unnecessary pitfalls. By reading books, listening to mentors, attending seminars, and engaging in conversations with people who have achieved what we desire, we gain access to the tools and insights that can accelerate our own transformation. These external sources of information serve as mirrors, reflecting back to us the possibilities of what we can become and showing us the steps we need to take to get there. In the process of transformation, the mind plays a critical role. The information we absorb not only shapes our external actions, but also influences our internal beliefs, emotions, and attitudes. When we begin to internalize powerful transformative information, we begin to view ourselves through a different lens. We see ourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as powerful creators of our own reality. As copy, we see ourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as powerful creators of our own reality. We start to believe in our potential, to trust in our ability to change, and to take the steps necessary to turn our dreams into reality. Our internal dialogue shifts from one of limitation to one of possibility. Transformation through information requires a willingness to embrace change and to challenge old ways of thinking. It requires us to confront the beliefs and mindsets that have held us back and to replace them with new, more empowering ones. It is not an easy process. It requires effort, discipline, and commitment. But it is one of the most powerful ways to create lasting change in our lives. The information we choose to consume has the potential to shape our destinies. It is the fuel that drives personal growth, success, and fulfillment. When we understand this power and use it wisely, we unlock the door to a future that is limited only by our imagination. As we continue to grow and evolve, the process of transformation through information never stops. There's always more to learn, new insights to discover, and new ways to apply that knowledge to our lives. This continuous cycle of learning and growth keeps us in a state of constant evolution. With each new piece of information, we take one more step toward becoming the best version of ourselves. And with each step, we move closer to realizing the full potential that lies within us. The transformation through information is not just a one-time event. It is a lifelong journey, one that empowers us to become the people we were always meant to be. In moments of uncertainty, when the path ahead seems unclear and the weight of the world feels unbearable, knowledge becomes a beacon of light that illuminates the way. Life is filled with challenges, many of which arise unexpectedly, leaving us in moments of darkness, confusion, or fear. But it is in these very moments of darkness that knowledge proves its most profound value. Knowledge has the power to shed light on our circumstances, to clarify what seems ambiguous, and to guide us through the fog of uncertainty. In the darkness, it's easy to feel lost, to doubt ourselves, and to believe that the challenges we face are insurmountable. When we lack knowledge, we are vulnerable to being overwhelmed by our circumstances. But the moment we begin to seek knowledge, we start to see things more clearly. The light that knowledge brings does not necessarily make the challenges disappear, but it does give us the clarity to see them for what they truly are. We fear that if we seek unprecedented things, our mind will be opened up to new perspectives. But it reveals opportunities where we once saw only obstacles, solutions where we once saw only problems, solutions where we once saw only problems, and paths where we once felt trapped. Knowledge gives us the ability to think critically, to analyze our situations, and to make decisions based on understanding rather than fear or impulse. It transforms our perception of the world around us. Instead of reacting to life's difficulties with uncertainty or despair, we respond with awareness and insight. The light of knowledge empowers us to rise above our challenges rather than be consumed by them. And in the darkest of times, knowledge becomes the force that turns fear into courage, confusion into clarity, and stagnation into action. Knowledge helps us understand the nature of our struggles. Often, what causes us the most fear and anxiety is the unknown. When we face challenges without the clarity that knowledge provides, we are left to speculate, to imagine the worst-case scenarios, and to let our minds run wild with fear. But when we seek knowledge, we begin to demystify our problems. We gain an understanding of how to approach them, what steps to take, and what resources are available to us. This understanding transforms darkness into light as we move from a place of ignorance to a place of empowerment. In a world that is constantly changing, knowledge also helps us adapt. Change can be daunting and the future can seem uncertain. However, knowledge allows us to be proactive rather than reactive, to equip ourselves with the tools we need to navigate the unknown. The more we learn, the more we prepare ourselves for whatever comes our way. Knowledge acts as a shield against the unforeseen storms of life, giving us the strength to face whatever challenges arise with confidence and calm. It is also important to recognize that knowledge is not just external, but internal as well. The wisdom we gain through books, mentors, and experiences is invaluable. But the most powerful form of knowledge is the self-awareness that allows us to understand our own strengths, limitations, and potential. Self-knowledge illuminates our inner world, enabling us to navigate life with purpose and intention. It sheds light on the values, passions, and talents that drive us, and helps us align our actions with our true selves. With this inner light, we become more resilient, more focused, and more capable of overcoming the difficulties we face. Knowledge does not just benefit us personally. It has the power to impact those around us. When we gain knowledge, we are not only better equipped to face our own challenges, but also to support others through theirs. Knowledge enables us to lead, to guide, and to uplift. It enables us to be the light for others who may be walking in darkness. In a world where so many are struggling, those who possess knowledge are able to offer direction, clarity, and hope. The light of knowledge, once ignited in one person, can spread to illumine the lives of many. In this sense, knowledge becomes a source of hope in a world that often feels dark and uncertain. When we face personal or collective crises, it is easy to succumb to hopelessness. But when we look to knowledge, when we seek wisdom and understanding, we begin to see that the situation is not as dire as it may seem. The light of knowledge brings hope because it reminds us that no situation is not as dire as it may seem. The light of knowledge brings hope because it reminds us that no situation is without solution. No problem is without answer. And no challenge is without a way through. Knowledge is a continuous source of light. It is not a one-time fix, but an ongoing process of discovery, growth, and understanding. The more we seek knowledge, the more light we bring into our lives and into the lives of others. In times of darkness, when we feel isolated or uncertain, knowledge offers a way out. It does not promise to make all the pain or difficulty disappear, but it promises that we will never have to walk through the darkness alone. The light of knowledge will always be there, guiding us toward a brighter future, toward clarity, understanding, and ultimately toward the fulfillment of our purpose. Discipline and study is the foundation upon which success is built. Yet too often, we underestimate the transformative power of focused, consistent effort. In a world that demands instant gratification, the ability to engage in disciplined study is increasingly rare. But it is this very discipline that separates those who achieve great things from those who merely dream about them. It is not enough to simply wish for success or knowledge. We must commit ourselves to the process of acquiring it, step by step, consistently, and with purpose. Disciplined study is a practice that goes beyond just sitting down to read or completing assignments. It is about cultivating a mindset of commitment, responsibility, and focus. It requires a clear understanding of your goals and the willingness to put in the time and effort necessary to achieve them. In many ways, disciplined study is a form of self-mastery. It is about training the mind to remain focused, to push through distractions, and to prioritize long-term success over short-term pleasures. This type of commitment is not always easy, but it is always rewarding. When the purpose is clear, the discipline becomes easier to maintain because the end result is something tangible and valuable. Once goals are set, disciplined study requires the development of a routine. Success does not happen by accident. It is a result of consistent, focused effort. A routine helps build momentum and ensures that we stay on course. It allows us to carve out time for study amidst the other demands of life so that learning becomes a habit rather than an afterthought. It's not about squeezing study into whatever time remains in the day, but about prioritizing it, making it a non-negotiable part of our lives. Consistency in study is where true transformation occurs. Just as small drops of water can erode even the hardest rock, small daily efforts compound over time to create significant results. Just any phrase. The discipline of study also involves maintaining focus and eliminating distractions. In an age where we are bombarded by notifications, social media, and endless sources of entertainment, it takes intentional effort to stay focused on the task at hand. Discipline means creating an environment conducive to learning, one that minimizes distractions and maximizes productivity. This could involve setting aside specific times for study, turning off digital devices, or organizing the space where we work. It also requires cultivating the ability to be present in the moment, to fully engage with the material at hand without letting our attention wander. An important aspect of disciplined study is perseverance. It is easy to start a new project with enthusiasm, but maintaining that energy over the long haul is what makes a difference. During the course of study, there will inevitably be moments of frustration, difficulty, or even failure. It is in these moments that the true value of discipline reveals itself. Rather than giving up, disciplined study encourages us to push through, to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, and to learn from setbacks rather than be discouraged by them. Perseverance is about developing the resilience to continue when things get tough, to keep moving forward even when progress seems slow. Equally important is the ability to reflect and adapt. Disciplined study is not about blindly following a routine without ever evaluating whether it is working. It is about constantly assessing your progress, reflecting on what you have learned, and adjusting your approach when necessary. Effective learners do not just absorb information passively. They engage with it, ask questions, and seek to understand how it fits into the bigger picture. They adapt their methods, explore different strategies, and continually strive to improve their understanding. The goal is not to study harder, but to study smarter. Along with perseverance, disciplined study requires a deep sense of responsibility to oneself. It is an acknowledgement that you are the primary driver of your success. No one else can do the work for you, and no one else can invest the time and effort required to shape your future. The responsibility to study, to learn, and to grow is yours alone. This sense of personal responsibility fuels your commitment to the process, helping you push through the inevitable moments of doubt or frustration. To responsibility. Disciplined study requires self-extraneous. It involves the ability to resist the temptation of procrastination and the distractions that pull us away from our goals. Self-extraneous is the practice of choosing the long-term benefits of learning over the immediate gratification of other activities. It is about understanding that the sacrifices made in the short term, whether it's giving up leisure time, avoiding distractions, or enduring moments of discomfort, are investments in your long-term success. Disciplined study requires a commitment to lifelong learning. Knowledge is not static, it is constantly evolving, and there is always something new to learn. The process of disciplined study does not stop once we've reached a certain level of understanding. It continues throughout our lives. By cultivating the habit of disciplined study, we open ourselves to a world of ongoing growth and discovery. We recognize that learning is not merely about accumulating facts, but about developing the ability to think critically, solve problems, and adapt to new challenges. It is the foundation upon which we build our personal and professional growth, allowing us to continue to evolve and excel in whatever endeavors we pursue. In the end, disciplined study is not simply about gaining knowledge. It is about developing the discipline, the habits, and the mindset necessary to transform that knowledge into action. It is the bridge between desire and achievement, between potential and success. Through disciplined study, we unlock our ability to achieve greatness, to master our craft, and to continually push the boundaries of what we can accomplish. The mind is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It has the ability to shape our reality, influence our behavior, and dictate the course of our lives. Yet for many of us, our minds are also the source of some of our greatest limitations. We often find ourselves imprisoned by our own thoughts, trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, fear, and insecurity. These mental chains prevent us from reaching our true potential, from stepping into the fullness of who we are meant to be. But the truth is that these chains are not permanent. They can be broken. And when they are, we unlock a power within ourselves that is greater than we could ever imagine. Breaking mental chains begins with an understanding that they are not inherent to us. They are not part of our true identity. Instead, they are beliefs, patterns, and habits that have been formed over time, often as a result of experiences, societal expectations, or negative conditioning. These mental chains can take many forms. The belief that we are not worthy, the fear of failure, the doubt in our abilities, or the idea that we are destined to remain stuck in our current circumstances. These beliefs may have been instilled in us at a young age or develop as coping mechanisms over time, but they are not unchangeable. The first step to breaking these chains is recognizing them for what they are: illusionary barriers created by our minds. Once we recognize these chains, we can begin to question them. Breaking mental chains requires a willingness to challenge our deeply held beliefs and assumptions about ourselves and the world. It requires us to ask difficult questions. Why do I believe that I am not good enough? Why do I fear success or failure? What is holding me back from taking action? When we start to interrogate these beliefs, we begin to expose their falseness. The chains begin to weaken as we realize that they are not based on truth, but on perception. The process of breaking mental chains also involves replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. It's not enough to simply become aware of the chains. We must also consciously choose to adopt new beliefs that align with the person we want to become. This is not an overnight process. It takes time, consistency, and effort. But just as a muscle grows stronger through repeated use, our minds become stronger through repeated positive affirmations and actions. As we begin to reinforce new, positive beliefs about our worth, our abilities, and our potential, we rewire our minds. We replace the mental chains that once held us back with the freedom to be, do, and achieve whatever we desire. Another crucial aspect of breaking mental chains is forgiveness, both of others and of ourselves. Many of the mental chains we carry are a result of past hurts, traumas, or failures. These experiences can create emotional scars that shape the way we see ourselves and the world around us. Holding on to resentment, guilt, or shame can keep us shackled to the past, preventing us from moving forward. Forgiveness does not mean condoning what happened, nor does it mean forgetting. It means letting go of the power those past experiences have over us. When we forgive, we release the grip that the past has on our minds and open ourselves up to new possibilities. Breaking mental chains also requires the courage to step into the unknown. The familiar, even when it is limiting or painful, often feels safer than the uncertainty of change. But true growth happens outside of our comfort zones. The fear of the unknown keeps us bound in the chains of inaction, unable to move forward, even when we know that something better awaits us. To break free, we must embrace discomfort, take risks, and trust in our ability to navigate the unfamiliar. It is in those moments of discomfort that we discover our true strength. We learn that we are capable of more than we ever imagined, and we realize that the only limits we truly face are those we place upon ourselves. The practice of mindfulness can also play a significant role in breaking mental chains. Often our minds are overwhelmed by a constant stream of thoughts, many of them negative, unproductive, or fear-based. These thoughts create mental clutter that keeps us from seeing clearly and acting decisively. Mindfulness helps us observe our thoughts without judgment, allowing us to recognize when we are being controlled by negative patterns. By becoming aware of our thoughts, we can interrupt the cycle of negativity and replace it with thoughts that empower us. Mindfulness teaches us that we are not our thoughts. We are the observers of our thoughts. This shift in perspective allows us to break free from the grip of limiting beliefs and gain greater control over our minds. Another central aspect of breaking mental chains is action. Knowledge alone is not enough to free us from our mental prisons. We must take deliberate, purposeful steps toward change. Taking action in spite of fear, doubt, or uncertainty is one of the most powerful ways to break mental chains. The more we act, the more we prove to ourselves that we are capable of overcoming obstacles and achieving our goals. Each small step forward weakens the chains that once held us back, and with each action, we reinforce the belief in our own power. Action is the antidote to fear. It is through action that we discover our resilience, our resourcefulness, and our potential. Breaking mental chains is a process of continuous growth. It requires patience, self-compassion, and an unwavering belief in our ability to change. The more we confront our fears, question our limiting beliefs, and choose new ways of thinking, the more freedom we create for ourselves. This freedom is not just the absence of mental chains. It is the presence of possibility. The possibility to become the person we were always meant to be. As we break free from the chains that have held us captive, we unlock the limitless potential within us, and we step into a life of purpose, power, and fulfillment. The chains are not permanent. The darkness is not forever. The freedom and light we seek are already within us, waiting to be uncovered. It is only through breaking these mental chains that we are able to fully embrace the life that is waiting for us, one filled with growth, opportunity, and the realization of our greatest potential. A legacy of wisdom is not merely about the accumulation of knowledge. It is the passing down of understanding, insight, and life lessons that transcend time and circumstances. It is a transmission of truths that guide and shape future generations, leaving an indelible mark on the world. While many may leave behind material wealth or achievements, the legacy of wisdom remains the most profound and lasting gift that can be passed on. Wisdom does not fade with time. It grows, evolves, and continues to illuminate the path for others long after the one who shared it has passed on. At its core, wisdom is the ability to see beyond the surface, to understand the deeper currents of life, and to apply knowledge in ways that benefit not just the individual, but the community and the world at large. It is not simply knowing what to do, but understanding why to do it, when to do it, and how to do it, in a way that aligns with the greater good. The legacy of wisdom is not about amassing facts or figures. It is about imparting the principles that lead to a fulfilled, purposeful, and meaningful life. It is the art of living well and of teaching others how to do the same. A legacy of wisdom often arises from experience, particularly from the trials, challenges, and triumphs that come through living life with intentionality. Those who leave a legacy of wisdom have often walked through hardship and emerged with lessons learned. They have encountered failure and success, joy and sorrow, and have reflected deeply on these experiences to extract meaningful insights. These lessons, shared with others, become a source of guidance, helping others navigate the complexities of their own lives. The wisdom of those who have lived fully and authentically serves as a compass, offering direction when the path ahead is uncertain. One of the most powerful aspects of a legacy of wisdom is its ability to transcend generations. When wisdom is passed down, it doesn't just impact one individual. It impacts families, communities, and societies. Wisdom shared by one person can be carried forward by countless others, each adding their own layer of understanding and application. This creates a ripple effect that reaches beyond what any one person could achieve in their lifetime. Words, actions, and examples of a wise individual continue to inspire and influence long after they are gone. The impact of their legacy becomes a guiding light for future generations, helping to shape the decisions, values, and actions of those who follow. The legacy of wisdom is also not limited to grand gestures or monumental achievements. Often, the most profound wisdom is found in the everyday actions of those who live with integrity, compassion, and humility. It is found in the way they treat others, in their resilience in the face of adversity, and in their ability to find joy and meaning in life's simplest moments. This kind of wisdom is not flashy or attention-grabbing. It is quiet, enduring, and impactful in its simplicity. By embodying these qualities, individuals leave behind a legacy that teaches others the importance of character, empathy, and living with purpose. Wisdom is also characterized by the ability to see the interconnectedness of all things. Those who leave a legacy of wisdom understand that their actions, however small, have far-reaching consequences. They know that the way they treat others, the choices they make, and the values they uphold ripple outward, influencing the lives of those around them. This awareness creates a life of integrity, one where individuals act not just for personal gain, but for the betterment of the whole. A legacy of wisdom encourages us to think beyond ourselves, to recognize the impact we have on others, and to live in a way that contributes positively to the world. In leaving behind a legacy of wisdom, it is also important to teach others the power of lifelong learning. True wisdom is not static, it is ever evolving. The most impactful legacies are those that encourage the pursuit of knowledge and growth, that inspire future generations to continue seeking truth and understanding. A wise person understands that there is always more to learn and that the journey of wisdom never ends. By fostering a culture of curiosity, reflection, and continuous learning, the legacy of wisdom ensures that those who inherit it are equipped to face the challenges of their own time with the same clarity, insight, and purpose. A legacy of wisdom is also built on the foundation of love and compassion. Wisdom that is rooted in love not only serves to guide and direct, but it also nurtures, heals, and uplifts. It encourages others to see the good in themselves and in others, to approach life with an open heart, and to embrace the beauty and complexity of the human experience. Wisdom born of love leads to greater connection and understanding between individuals, communities, and cultures. It creates a world where people are empowered to be their best selves, to contribute to the well-being of others, and to make the world a better place. The legacy of wisdom is, at its core, a legacy of empowerment. It equips others to think critically, to act decisively, and to live with authenticity and integrity. It encourages us to step into our power, to embrace our unique purpose, and to contribute to the world in meaningful ways. By sharing our wisdom with others, we not only enrich their lives, but we also enrich our own. The true value of a legacy of wisdom is that it continues to grow, evolve, and inspire long after its creator is no longer present. The seeds of wisdom planted today can create a harvest of transformation for generations to come, shaping a world that is rooted in knowledge, understanding, and the collective pursuit of a better tomorrow. Reading is a powerful tool for personal growth and transformation, but it becomes truly valuable only when we take action on the knowledge we acquire. The information we read can inspire, inform, and enlighten us, but it is our ability to apply what we learn that determines its true impact on our lives. To act on what we read is to move beyond passive consumption and to engage actively with the material, allowing it to shape our behavior, decisions, and actions in meaningful ways. When we read, we are often presented with new ideas, strategies, and perspectives that have the potential to change our way of thinking. However, without action, these insights remain dormant. Reading is like planting seeds in the mind, seeds that have the potential to grow into something much greater. But if we don't take the necessary steps to water and nurture those seeds, they will never take root or bear fruit. Action is the key to bringing those ideas to life, to turning theory into practice, and to transforming knowledge into tangible results. The process of acting on what we read begins with reflection. It's not enough to simply rush through a book or an article. We must pause and reflect on what we've absorbed. What insights stood out to us? What ideas challenged our thinking? Which concepts seemed particularly relevant to our current situation? By reflecting on what we read, we create a deeper understanding of the material and begin to internalize its lessons. This reflection is the first step in translating knowledge into action because it forces us to engage with the material on a deeper level. Once we have reflected on what we have learned, the next step is to make a conscious decision to implement the knowledge. This requires intentionality. Acting on what we read is not something that happens by accident. It requires setting clear intentions about how we want to apply the material in our lives. It might involve setting specific goals, creating a plan of action, or identifying areas of our lives where we can immediately put the knowledge to use, whether it's applying a new time management technique, adopting a new mindset, or using a strategy for improving our relationships. The key is to take proactive steps toward implementing the knowledge we've gained. Action also requires commitment. It's easy to read a book and feel inspired in the moment, but it's far more challenging to follow through on those feelings. Commitment means staying dedicated to applying the knowledge consistently, even when it feels uncomfortable or when obstacles arise. True change doesn't happen overnight. It requires consistent, focused effort over time. The more committed we are to acting on what we read, the more likely we are to see real transformation in our lives. 2, commitment. Acting on what we read requires accountability. It's easy to get lost in the excitement of new ideas. But without accountability, we may quickly fall back into old habits or lose focus. Accountability can come in many forms. It might mean sharing our goals with a mentor or coach, joining a study group, or simply tracking our progress regularly. Having someone or something to hold us accountable increases our chances of success because it reinforces our commitment to the actions we've planned. It provides external motivation and encouragement, especially during times when our enthusiasm wanes. Another important aspect of acting on what we read is the willingness to experiment and adapt. Often, the first time we try to implement something we've read, it doesn't work perfectly. We may face setbacks or challenges that cause us to doubt our ability to apply the new knowledge effectively. However, rather than seeing these challenges as failures, we can view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Action requires a certain level of trial and error. It's about being open to adjusting our approach, tweaking our methods, and refining our strategies until we find what works best for us. The more we experiment and adapt, the better equipped we become at applying knowledge in a way that leads to lasting change. Another powerful aspect of acting on what we read is the ripple effect it has on others. When we take action based on the knowledge we gain, we not only improve our own lives, but we also inspire and influence those around us. Our actions serve as a model for others, demonstrating how reading and learning can lead to positive outcomes. Whether it's adopting a healthier lifestyle, improving our work performance, or being more present in our relationships, the changes we make can have a ripple effect, encouraging others to take action as well. In this way, acting on what we read not only transforms our own lives, but also creates a wider impact, influencing the people and communities around us. In some cases, acting on what we read might require us to let go of old habits, beliefs, or mindsets. Knowledge often challenges the status quo and encourages us to rethink how we approach life. Acting on what we read may mean making difficult decisions, such as breaking free from limiting beliefs or stepping outside of our comfort zone. But it is through these challenges that true growth occurs. The courage to act on new knowledge, even when it feels uncomfortable, is what leads to personal transformation and empowerment. When we act on what we read, we create a feedback loop of continuous learning. Every time we take action, we gain new experiences, which in turn deepen our understanding of the material. This ongoing process of learning and applying what we read ensures that we are constantly evolving and growing. The more we apply the principles and strategies we learn, the more we refine our knowledge and make it a part of who we are. Our ability to take action on what we read helps us stay in a state of perpetual growth, constantly refining our abilities and expanding our potential. Acting on what we read is what transforms knowledge into wisdom. Knowledge is the accumulation of information, but wisdom is the ability to apply that knowledge in real-life situations. It is through action that we make knowledge practical, relevant, and impactful. By taking consistent steps to implement the ideas we learn, we bring them to life, and they cease to be abstract concepts and become concrete actions that shape our reality. And then reading provides us with the tools, but it is up to us to use those tools to create the life we desire. When we act on what we read, we unlock the true power of knowledge and set ourselves on a path of continuous growth and success. The true power of reading lies not in the information we gather, but in the actions we take to bring that knowledge to life. It's not enough to be inspired by what we read. We must move beyond passive consumption and actively apply the lessons we learn to our daily lives. When we choose to act on the wisdom, strategies, and insights we gain through reading, we transform ourselves and our circumstances. The real value of knowledge is unlocked only when it's put into practice. It is through consistent action, commitment, and a willingness to adapt that we begin to see the profound change we seek. So let us not be content with simply reading. Let us act boldly on what we have learned. For it is through this action that we will create lasting transformation, not just in our own lives, but in the world around us. The path to greatness, success, and fulfillment is paved with the courage to take the first step and the persistence to keep moving forward, turning knowledge into power with every action we take.